All right, we're back. My name is Dominic and this is Max Level EDC. And today I want to do something that I've been thinking about for more than a year, actually, and couldn't quite find the right items to make happen. I'm going to do a 100% USA made EDC, but I'm going to have the grand total be less than $100, or in this case, almost exactly $100. I have an entire box of goodies to unpack. I had way too much fun doing this, and it all comes down to my discovery of one very specific item, the one category that I could not figure out. So without further ado, we're going to unbox everything and we're going to talk about what's in this $100 USA made EDC. Now it is very possible that I went a little bit overboard for this project, but I had a lot of fun and I found some really neat products in the process and some different choices for different categories that we will talk about in the alternative section of this video. For the first category we need to talk about is the folding knife. In this case we went with the BIC Knives 286. This came out to be about $27, and it's a 3.5 inch blade with 420 HC, a tip down pocket clip, and yeah, in reality, now that I'm thinking about it, I saved $2 or $3 of going with this versus going with the BIC 112 Slim Select, and I think it was a bit of a mistake. I knew that if I bought the BIC 112 that I would probably like it. This one, it's not that it's a bad knife. In fact, I'm very confident in the fact that the heat treatment and the steel are going to be great. The only issue I have really is kind of the ergonomics of it, the fact that the clip is set up where it is, and closing it requires two hands. So it's not perfect, but it'll work great for this. Now the next category we're going to talk about is wallets, and I actually had a number of great options for this, but I wanted to check out the Dango Stealth wallet. So this is the S1 model, and I've had experience with Dango in the past, and when it comes to quality they really are quite good, and this is no exception. It uses a very different material than you'll find in most wallets. They call it DTEX. I'm not 100% sure what it is, but it holds up really well, and the wallet quality is fantastic. In fact, this wallet dropped in price since when I purchased it. It was $20 and now it is just around $18. So really cool, and able to fit quite a few more cards in than I realized when I looked at it, in the images. So all positives here. I actually like everything about it, even the way the coloration and the style is. It's all great. Love it. Now, in addition to having a lot of card slots, it also has a small pocket on the back. Now, this is where you can store between 1 and 2 keys if you don't want to carry your keys separately. So I really like that feature. Between that and having a lanyard attachment to keep your wallet from walking away on you, there's a lot of benefits to this small, compact wallet made by Dango. I would like to see them make a lot more wallets in this budget category, just like this one, because so far I'm very impressed. Now, I probably don't have to explain Write-in-the-Rain notebooks to anyone, but just as a reiteration, these are made of a special proprietary paper, and the paper does not smudge or get wet like most notebooks, and it's going to hold on to the ink quite a bit better. This is a notebook that is used by military and field researchers all around the world, and it just works really well. They have a universal pattern, which is perfect, and these come out to be about $4 a piece when you factor in the fact that it comes in a pack of 3. Also, we're going to talk quickly about the pen. Now, this is made by Write-in-the-Rain, but it's actually manufactured by Fisher. And the cool thing about this is identical to a Fisher Space Pen that is already in production, but it is half the cost, coming in at only $13. So it's one of the cheapest Fisher pens with a, pressurized insert that writes upside down and in the rain and all of that other stuff. but yet it's a lot cheaper, still made in the United States. So awesome all the way around and pairs perfectly with this notebook. So something to look into. Right in the Rain partners with a whole bunch of other companies, and we'll talk about it a little bit more later in this video. Now this next category is kind of a point of contention because a lot of people don't really carry these items, but it just wanted to include some different options, and this is one of them. This is made by Maratac. It's called the Widgie Bar, and I got specifically the flat version because I had an idea that maybe I could fit it inside the wallet itself. And in this case it works. It actually goes right into that key slot in the back part of the wallet, no problem. Now you could attach this to a keychain as well, and probably some other places, but this worked really well, and yeah, gives you your little mini Prytool bottle opener, kind of multifunctional item for this particular carry. All right, now here it is. This is the category that I could not find a single item that I was satisfied with until I discovered this one. And I have seen it multiple times without realizing it, and you probably have as well. This is the AAA version of their double battery flashlight. But the problem is when you go to Amazon, it looks identical to the standard version of the Maglite, except that this is nothing like the standard version. Number one, it comes with a pocket clip. Number two, it's IPX7, and we're going to talk about this a little bit more because this is only one of two flashlights made by Maglite that is actually waterproof. It's kind of frustrating, really, but now that I have it, I'm actually kind of impressed. And when you combine it with all of the other features of this flashlight, such as the output, it's a really good flashlight, even on its own merits. Not forgetting where it's made, it's actually quite competitive with other flashlights using these power sources. So it says 100 lumens, but it's actually 2600 candela, and that is majorly bright, like majorly bright, for something that only uses AAAs. So don't let that 100 lumen measurement fool you. This thing is super duper bright. Whoa. Now my camera is not showing the real brightness of this flashlight. It automatically compensates. However, just trust me when I say that it really is going to reach out and touch distances like 100 meters, and that is quite useful. You have a flashlight on your cell phone, but that isn't going to work in any real distance setting. So this is actually a nice complement to the flashlight that you probably already carry with you. Only this is going to be able to show you distance, not just up close and personal. But that doesn't mean you can't. If you unscrew it, you can use it like all older Maglites with a candle mode or hands-free using the pocket clip on your t-shirt. In addition to that, it'll also work as a candle, quote-unquote candle. It's very, very bright. Don't look directly in the light, but it would absolutely light up a room, and their version of a tail stand I think is better than many flashlights because essentially what you have is a muggle mode where essentially all of the light gets spread out in every direction. So really, really great option for a USA made flashlight under $20. So awesome. Now at this point we have reached $98. And I have $2 left, and I thought how perfect would it be to add another very useful tool, in this case in the form of fire. Now BIC makes lighters all over the place, but there is one model, the BIC Classic, that is still made right here in the United States. And these range, depending on how many you're buying at once, from somewhere around $1.15, like the pack of 5, up to around $1.60. But we're going to average it up to around $2. So you get your lighter to go with everything else, and lighters surprisingly do come in handy, regardless of whether you smoke or not. I've found many different uses for lighters over the course of, I don't know, all the time I've carried them. They repair synthetic fraying, so you can use them to seal up stitching that is coming apart. There's just many different ways you can use a lighter, so I highly recommend carrying one, and yes, they do make one that is made in the United States. So with all that said, this is our $100 USA-made EDC. We will be talking about alternatives in just a moment, but first of all, let's talk about the things I'm really satisfied and some things not so much. First of all, the flashlight was a huge surprise in the positive sense. It's as bright as I would expect, considering how much candela or how much light intensity it actually has. And with the run times, I'm actually really pleased with this. I'm also happy that they included a pocket clip. Now, the AA version of this doesn't include a pocket clip. It has some weird belt sheath, and it's IPX4, whereas this is IPX7. It's one of only 2 flashlights that they make that are actually waterproof. This and the Solitaire, the smaller version of the AAA. But the maximum beam intensity of that single AAA sized was much, much lower. In fact, I think it was like a fourth of the intensity. And because of that, you'd be better off probably just using your cell phone's flashlight. But this actually does, in fact, give you something that you don't get from that particular light source. The pen is fine. It's fine. It's a little bit, my only issue with it is it's a little bit too easy to actuate. I wish that spring was just a little stronger. Potentially that's something we can modify in the future and make it a little bit better. But it writes well. It has a pressurized insert. I think it's kind of a neat trick that you can buy the Write in the Rain variant of this Fisher Space Pen for basically half the cost than you can from Fisher. So that's kind of a clever thing. So if you're looking for a cheaper way to get them, this is a great way to do it. Now, this was sort of a surprise to me. I didn't realize that the majority of the BIC lighters are actually not made in the USA, but there is a specific set that are actually still are. It's the classic version of this, they're calling it. And yes, I did get the sticker off because it was annoying me. But this little BIC lighter was just something I threw in for that last $2, and honestly, fire has many uses. Repairing synthetic clothing, a lot of other things you can use it for, but it's a great addition in this case. Next up is sort of something that you can skip if you want. I'm going to show you when we do alternatives the types of things that you might be able to consider. For instance, I would potentially swap out both of these for a much better USA-made product in the form of a Zippo. Well, I mean, I could have done that, but I figured we'd try a couple of different things. So the Zippo is definitely something that is a staple, still made in the United States, still with that incredible warranty. In case you didn't know, Zippo will repair their product and make sure it works no matter how old it is, no matter what condition it's in. Very cool, and still a USA-made staple. And probably the original fidget toy that people used to carry with them. Now, disappointments. This is a terrible knife. I'm going to say right now, even by budget knife standards, it's not a good knife. It was a big mistake to get this over the BIC 112, and that's really what I'm comparing it to. I could have gotten access to the BIC 112 for what is basically the same price. This is okay, but it's not nearly as good. It has too much flex in the handle. The edges are a little bit too sharp. And yeah, I think this is a 3.5-inch knife, which is the only 3.5-inch USA-made knife that I could find under the $30 price point. And so it was that reason that I bought it. It's also not something that you can have fall shut. It just doesn't want to go. So it's always a two-handed closing, just something to keep in mind. This is fantastic. In fact, this was, I think, $20 when I purchased it, and it's currently only $18. And this is a great little wallet, actually, with a little key holder, which I was using to store the Maratac Prytool. But you could put just about anything in there. I really like this. I like this a lot. In fact, you could attach your keys to this and or just a lanyard, but having quick access to your cards, I think is great. And this is nice and slim, minimalist. I hate that word. Compact wallet, right? So really well done as far as this is concerned. And then of course we have notebooks, and you can't go wrong with Write in the Rain. Just an awesome paper notebook. If it gets wet, it still functions. You won't lose the notes, and you're not going to have your ink run. And paired with this pen, they're going to write about as good as it gets. All right, now with that, let's talk about the other things that I picked up in the process, because that's not the only things that I have to show you. Now, let's put this back here, get the widget bar back out. This is something I want to say. So at this point in the video, I'm going to say that this entire EDC, what you see here, is actually going to be given away in this video. So I will be putting down in the description of this video, not only links to everything, but also all the conditions that need to be met in order to be entered into this giveaway. It's going to be very, very simple. The end date will be put there as well. And yeah, so if you want to participate, just read how you do it. And yeah, you get a chance to win all of this stuff. But I'm going to give you guys some options based on these other items that I have. So let's get to those right now. Now, first up, for alternatives, we have wallets. Now, all three of these are made by a company called Grim Workshop. Now, Grim Workshop makes all kinds of really neat credit card sized tools, all of which are USA made. And they have wallets in their accessory section that I just found out about recently, and they're awesome, all coming in under $15. In fact, some of these are under $12. And yeah, awesome leather wallets for a very, very low cost. So a great option. They have a top loader, like you can see here, a side loader, and a button wallet. And all of which seem to work quite well. In fact, yeah, I would definitely consider carrying these. And I kind of like the feel of leather personally, so this is one of my favorite options as far as all of that's concerned. So one thing I noticed immediately with the side loader is there seems to be quite a bit more space, a little bit different dimension on this wallet. So you're going to be able to get quite a few more cards in the side loader variant than you will in the top loader. So just something to keep in mind if you're thinking about going for one of these. You're going to get kind of a different number of cards in each of these. The top loader is definitely going to be the slimmest, followed by the side loader, and then the button wallet is very versatile. You can put not just credit cards, you can put a whole bunch of different things in a button wallet because all the folds will keep whatever those items are inside. Now, if you want to go up a little bit in price, these are going to be $25. It's called the Ranger Wallet by Gondek EDC. One of my favorite people out there, but he makes all of these with his wife by hand. And you can get them in a whole variety of different materials, but surprisingly, it's one of the best wallet organizers I've ever held. It's super small, and every fabric that they make their hanks out of, you can also get one of these Ranger wallets made out of. So this is my one from my daughter, but yeah, they're awesome. So if you want, check these out as well. Now, the last wallet alternative we're going to talk about is this. These are from Recycled Firefighter, and they're pretty much their standard card slip. And they had a recent sale that I couldn't ignore because I'd never tried one of their products, and it was buy one get two free. So I bought one wallet for $30 and I got two additional ones. So they work out to be about $10 a piece. It's sort of a yes, they're $10 each. So you can choose one of these as well instead of the Stealth Wallet if this is your thing. What I did notice, though, is that these are not going to hold all that many cards. I was able to get 3 cards in there snugly, and that's about it. So it's not going to store nearly as much as any of the other options that I've discussed so far. So very much going to be just like an ID, a single card, and some cash. So if that's kind of your deal, and those are the things that you tend to carry, this will be a good option for you. Now there are a couple other pens that you could buy that are made in the United States, within the budget. And one of them is Poka Pens. In fact, these are very budget friendly, coming in at give or take between $3 and $6, depending on the version that you want, or whether it's a special edition with different colorations. And they have all different types, not just black. They have some multi camo, orange, you name it. So go ahead and check those out. But I didn't think I was going to like them. Turns out I really like the Poka Pen. I usually try to stay away from pens that have separate caps, but for some reason this just works. I like it a whole lot better than the Fisher Bullet Space Pen, which is kind of weird, but I really do. And the base model, actually, you can replace the ink in these quite readily, so you don't have to throw away the plastic component, which I really like. Now they have two versions, one of which is also a Write in the Rain collaboration, and this has a pressurized insert. So you're going to be able to write in unusual settings a little bit easier than you will with the standard version. But as long as you're using the Write in the Rain notebook, it's going to hold on to pretty much every ink. And for that reason, I actually like the base model a little bit more. And when browsing their website, I found out they also have a couple little clever attachments. So you can take the Poka Pen, any version, and you can actually either have it on your keychain, or you can get a pocket clip for it. And so it's very versatile pen to carry, and I kind of like the different options that you get. So really neat here. Works great with any version that you buy. So all of these pieces are interchangeable with their other designs, and it just kind of works. It's like a whole ecosystem in and of itself. I definitely recommend the Poka Pen. Really inexpensive, really compact, and watertight. There's an O-ring on both sides of the pen that will keep it from actually having water stuck into it. One thing I didn't test, and I should have, I wonder if these float. I bet they do. Since we happen to have alternatives, both in wallets and pens, I will give you the option of choosing either the pen you want and the wallet you want for this giveaway. So just pick one wallet and one pen setup. And if you do choose one of the two Poka Pens, you can have it with, basically the keychain and pocket clip. So I will do that as well. So your choice of whichever one you want to do, but all of these are great options. Now to close this up, I just want to say a big thank you to everyone who continues to use the links and watch the videos and subscribe. It makes a world of difference. This entire set of gear was all purchased because of the fact that you guys used the affiliate links in past videos. So I really do appreciate it. And I just have fun figuring all this out, trying to put the puzzle pieces together and constrain myself to a certain topic, or in this case, a certain budget and a topic. So this was a lot of fun. And if you want to see more like it, keep doing what you're doing. It's awesome. I will also be posting a poll about what we might want to do next as far as a themed-based EDC. So you guys have a good one. Thanks for your time, and we'll talk again soon.